Hello and welcome back to another episode of Free Dad Raid Shadow Legends free to play for 2024 day 21. We get a nice necklace piece. Tomorrow we're getting a banner. Really looking forward to this shield set. Unfortunately, these two are not swapped because this weekend is 2 times void. So that would have been nice to have an opportunity to get maybe something cool, maybe not. Who knows? In today, I wanted to talk a little bit about just to give a quick recap on the main account. We did a Hydra rebuild video, so we were able to build a brutal clan boss or a brutal Hydra class team. Our clan ended up getting first with only 26 keys used, so good damage overall. We were able to do, I think it was like 500 and some odd million for our Hydra points, I guess is kind of what it's called. So like brutal is 3 times the points. We're able to do 3 times the points for that. And we're able to get this chest for these accessories, end up being 2 good accessories, and then 100 of those crafts, which does equate to 1 mythical or primal shard. So I think that puts us up to 3 on the account. We did get these really nice mythical protection with speed on it for the mythical bonus on that weapon. It is a artifact enhancement event going on right now. So we're going to be enhancing our good merciless gear to put in our blade master on this account, and then also going to be enhancing some of this to see how it rolls. But that is going to be kind of the update. I was able to hit top chest on both of those as well, but I just kind of wanted to show you what we actually got from doing that. The team on Brutal ended up doing 94 million. I ran it the first time on the video. It did 32. I upgraded a couple pieces of gear on a couple of those champions. There's still 2 or 3 of them that don't have fully upgraded gear, and then there are still 2 or 3 of them that do not have full mastery. So like they don't have that last row with War Master. So that's going to give some extra damage here. Right now in game, we have a couple tournaments and some events going for the fragment summons. We will not be going for them. We have this Fire Knight one. We're not even going to look at that. We just had a couple others finish. We did end up getting number 2 in our arena tournament, so I can kind of show you what we got for that. We have this champion training event, which in the name of the game right now is just train your champions. So we're going to try to grind a little bit, and we're hoping to get this mythical stone. Hoping that's going to be good. We have the artifact enhancement, so we're just upgrading gear when we do have the silver. Really hoping to try to get this energy and the gems with these. It would be really nice if we can bust up to this ancient. That would also be beneficial. And then the dragon dungeon divers event has been going on. We're trying to get up to the silver or the oils and kind of see what we can get from there. So a day and a half left of that. When we're talking about what we ended up getting for our second place finish, so we got this attack one. It was this, and then we got this one, and then we got a resistance chest, and then we got a flat stat boots. So we went ahead and sold the flat stat boots. We don't need them. We're not going to try to re-roll it. We have been doing some spider farming, so we really wanted to get a banner for Kale. So we got this lovely, what is this, 5-star accuracy. So now he is up to 100 accuracy, which is really nice. And then we did get a couple other really good pieces for our team, but we tried to push as hard as we can and get the team working effectively on auto for stage 10. So it is a weak affinity for Monkey Team, so it does make him, or Monkey King, so it does make him the target, but he self pops up with a full turn meter, so it's not that big of a deal. So he does actually work as a pretty good spider tank, which is kind of nice if we do not kill those. But these surprisingly on stage 10 has a higher chance of dropping 5-star. I think the next one is really getting to stage 16 because you have a higher chance of getting 6-star out of any of these. So that'll be the next goal, but this is going to be the team that works. So we do have our Blade Master now in there. He is in the lead. So the nice part with him being in the lead, let's turn this on auto. But the nice part is with him being in the lead, he has that 30% increase ally attack in dungeons. So he's going to be really impactful to probably be in the lead for all of our dungeons. We don't have a speed aura in any dungeons on any champions. I think the three auras that we do have are all the arena with Gorgorod here, with the Monkey King, and then I think there's a smaller aura, but I can't remember what champion it's over. So the way the team works is hopefully we work our way around to the AoE nuke. The only unfortunate part that we don't like about Monkey King on auto is he's always going to attack the main spider. So why that's unfortunate, if he was to use his A2, say on this, we'd get big splash damage. So it turns into from a single target damage to an AoE, and he would have been able to kill all those versus taking a ton of hits and getting himself killed instead. So the nice part, when he does die, typically we always have Kale going next. I don't know why it works that way. I just kind of think we lucked out with it. But he'll go next, and it just seems to have happened to be his AoE. So as AoE goes, he boosts his own turn meter. So typically a spider will go right after one turn, AoE, two turn, and then he gets an instant turn again. So that way we don't have to worry about one of our revivers accidentally reviving him. Because if he self-revive, he gets full HP and a full turn meter. So we really don't want these revivers to actually be reviving him. But we've just kind of been looking at the team. Eventually, I would like to, especially for farming this stage, I'd love to switch my Jamarsa out with another AoE damage dealer. But I don't think we're going to have any on the account that's going to be that impactful to us, and that will be able to get the job done with the gear that we do have right now. We did have Armiger in place for our middle guy, so on better affinities, because this is going to be the blue and Armiger is a green, so on better affinities, it's going to be more impactful to us. But this is basically the team. The other thing that we have been working on is we're currently trying to upgrade food champions to 4-star because we will be upgrading our King Gorgorod, as I like to call him, next, because then he's going to be able to get just better stats, more survivability, and he is going to be the one that is working into the clan boss. So I'll be doing my epic ones in here. He just has, I think this is just going to be a really important skill for us. And then with his revive or his heal, either or whatever you need, and then he has the ability to remove buffs, and now it's a 55% chance because we are putting books in them. We did have some unfortunate rolls in those books there, but we're just working on food the rest of the day. We do have one ready to upgrade, and then we'll have this other one ready to upgrade, and then we'll just need to work on some 3-star chickens for them. It does not look like we're going to be able to get any shards. We have been just kind of going in, doing our arena refreshes, looking for easier battles to do those. I am very tempted to get to those 1200 to be able to do the ancient shard to see what we might be able to get, because I think on this progressive chance there is actually a champion that is an epic that I would not mind at all, and we're not very far away from it. So I think with all these refreshes, and we have hopefully one more, I think we have a 10 left. Yep, so we have 10 more battles that we can do. So with those refreshes, we're able to then come over here and, oh, I guess it's the same one. So I would not mind him at all. And then Brogni would be huge for this account. The healing, the shield, just going to be overall good. We already have a reviver, and I don't remember what all she does in her kit, but Phil's turn meter removes 2 buffs. Oh, a lot of it is based on if is. So we got the revive here, the turn meter. So would be an increase from Jamarsa, but not going to be the end of the day. Was there any other ones that I think I could pick off? I know with these one-man teams, you're thinking maybe, but I think it's still going to be really hard to heal because all three are going to be tanky. They heal themselves, which will be kind of tricky. This one doesn't look like it's doable. This one, they got 160 here, another 60 here. This last team's going to be kind of tricky. This team, maybe. I don't know if I'll take my chances on that one. A 60 here. This one looks a lot better. So let's go with this one. So we're gonna make sure our teams are set up correctly. So their best team against our best team. Which one is going to be their worst team? I'm going to leave this as is because Monkey King should be able to kill all of these being a positive affinity. And then he's only weak affinity to him, which is probably going to be their best one. So this one might be interesting. And I might have to switch Jamarsa over just so we have that. And then let's go ahead and add some support for the monkey. And that should be it for this one. We do have no increased speed, which kind of sucks, or no increased attack. Oh, no, we do. Never mind. So this one should be fine to go. So let's see how this works. I think if we do make it to those 1200, I think we just go ahead and go for it. We're going to be a little bit lower on the Drexstar fragments, but at the end of the day, if we get a Brogni instead of a Drexstar, that's still fine. And then we're just going to be probably 1 or 2 days behind, and it should only take 100 days. So it'll be 3.5 months before we get that champion, anyways. So it's going to be a long ways before the progression, and this shard could be literally anything that could help us with progression. So I think we're going to go ahead and take our chances on it if we can get up to these. And these should be 3 easy wins for us. This one might be hard if he goes off. We'll do a block damage on a couple of them. Okay, so that worked out pretty well. They got some poisons. Nice part is she's not going to die anytime soon. So even if he does die, he'll pop back up now and be able to take a turn. Should kill this champion, and now it's just all about outlasting him, maybe. Okay, we got some healing going on with Jamarsa, or with Demitha, so this one should be good. We got the block damage. Didn't heal for anything. Perfect. So that one is good. That gave us, what, 20 gold bars, essentially? So we'll need to do a couple more of those. So we'll wait for a refresh and go from there. But that does give us enough time to look at Clan Boss. So once he does get upgraded, that Gorgorod, to a 5-star, he will be in my hard team. I got really bad RNG with this one, and I was not paying attention, but basically Kale did, it's like 1.7 million damage, and he typically does 3.5. Did not get very much luck with the poisons, and now since we do have that accuracy banner on him, we should have much better luck. And we're gonna switch out Jamarsa here for the Gargarod, and then we're switching out War Maiden for our Blade Master. So normally the team did about I would say it was like 4 point something damage. And Blade Master will be a lot better when he does get this third ascension. So I'm not too worried about that. So let's go ahead. We're just going to do auto just in case this doesn't get us our 3.63. I don't know how it's going to be. I haven't ran the key yet. We've just really been focusing on spider farming so that way we can get the accuracy banner for Kel. So he's got to get a lot more. I think he has some speed on his accuracy banner too, which is really nice. And I'm just really hoping the Blade Master's extra turns pop off. Those are going to be really, really impactful when we do have his 3 ascension because there's a couple different things with this passive that work with HP burn. We do not have an HP burner for this team, and unfortunately there's not a gear set that actually has a chance to put HP burn. I think it would be really sweet, and maybe that's something they'll do in the future. Have like a fire boss or something. Fire Knight would have been great for it, but having like a fire type boss that just continuously burns you, and then it gives you burn gear set, like Scolder gear set, or once you get another good burned, a volcano gear set. I don't know. You'll probably have better ideas than I do with it. But he does bring at least the irresistible defense down on his A1. It is only a 60% chance to land, but it is still irresistible, and he should be using that enough with his relentless gear to be able to get it on there. There we go. Got a perfect example right there. Timed it perfectly. We talked before, made sure he knew what was going on. But he's just going off for some good damage. I think once we do get some crit rate in his build, and put some more crit damage in him. He's going to be hitting a lot harder, especially with the third part of his passive is every fifth skill that the champion uses, whether that's counterattacks, and we're hoping to get some revenge accessories on him so he does get a chance to counterattack. So those all count as a skill, but on the fifth one, he's going to do 200% more damage, which is just insane for a champion. So he can hit really hard. It's going to be more impactful than any poisons that we're going to be able to get. And with him replacing War Maiden, who almost did practically no damage for us, she was floating around 100,000 each time. It was very uneventful, and plus he's a level 50, which is really nice. And you can see our biggest issue right here is Gorgorod being a 4-star. He was the first one to die, which he is our reviver, he is our healer, he is our increase attack, and he's our speed booster. So we really need him to be one of the last ones to die. He has a lot of opportunity on his gear to be upgraded with just what he's currently wearing. So I'm not incredibly worried about him for being able to survive once he does get to 5-star, but it's just going to take a little bit of food, and you can already tell this one's doing quite a bit of damage, which is good. I would have loved to see this more up to like 10 million, with hard really needing to be around this number consistently, but you can already see he's doing 300,000 more than what War Maiden was doing. He's also providing that increase or that decrease defense, the same that War Maiden was doing. It's just War Maiden has a little bit of poisons. That's where she was getting her damage, where this is all raw damage. Demitha, still pretty decent. We got Sun Wukong that's sitting there at 2.5. So it looked like maybe we didn't get as many War Master procs, and then we didn't get, I don't think, any of the Brimstone, which kind of sucks. Gorgorod really just in there for the heals. And then we got Kel, just an absolute beast in the lifesteal gear. I have thought about trying to re-gear one of these two in lifesteal gear, but it's just not. I think the poison set's really good on him for other content, and I think this relentless gear is going to be really good once we do get that third one up. Let's see, are we anywhere close to being able to use next key? About an hour and a half, so not too bad. But the rest of the day is just really going to be jumping into the campaign, going back to our farming space because you can never have too much 5-star speed boots. So going in here, and then we're just putting in our food. We're letting Monkey King instead of Kale farm it now because he also needs to be upgraded to level 60. Once he's upgraded to level 60, he'll be able to hit a heck of a lot harder. Everything will just be a lot easier, I guess. But unfortunately, upgrading all three of these champions, as in Kel, the Monkey King, and then Gorgorod, really doesn't do too much for us when it does come to the Fire Knight. I think that's going to have to be just a totally different champion that we're going to need to be able to take down the Fire Knight. He just has too big of a shield. He's moving too fast for us right now. So maybe Gorgorod with the increase turn meter on one of those and the heal, but we're really going to need somebody that either reflects damage and we can time it perfectly, that we're going to reflect those damage from our 5 champions that we have there, so it automatically counts as 5 ticks. So that way his shield, instead of it's a 10 or a 12, we're looking more at a 5 and a 7. Eventually we'll be able to get there, but just as of right now, it's not going to be something unless we do get it from a shard. I did went and looked at all of our campaign champions that we can farm just from these different stages to see if one of those does have something in their kit to be able to really help us with the Fire Knight. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like it. The one champion, of course, that would kind of be attainable right now that would help us with that is going to be the Fragment Summons. And we're not going to be able to get it on this account. We're going to get it on the main account just because I have a lot more resources saved up. Energy is a lot easier. Gems come very quickly for that account for whatever reason. I know with the last, I think it was Dungeon Divers, we had to use the majority of our gems that we had left, and then we used, I think it was like 1,800 gems because we did 2 of the ancient shard pack refill things when we were hunting for our Lady McCoggin fragment champions, and we ended up getting the Nek Mothar, which was great for the account. And then we got the Tatsu, which is the legendary that we were trying to fuse. So that really worked out for us, but it did cost us almost all of our gems. And then with the Dungeon Divers event, we used all of our gems to complete that. That was just an energy grind, a time grind. I really hate that event. I think they should get rid of it. It does absolutely nothing and no one enjoys it. You end up basically just farming the campaign or trying to farm like a low level of a dungeon, such as like a stage 3, just to be able to get it done, which nobody likes to do that. You just kind of have it go in and then you just really have to click sell and then just refresh or replay every single time. So that's not fun whatsoever. So let's go ahead and check to see. We got 2.5 more minutes to see if we can refresh this and maybe do some fights. So this one is maybe doable. So we are setting now in gold 1 pretty comfortably. We're just not having a lot of luck finding like a full page of champions that we can attack. We do find the teams that they might have 2 or 3 60s, and as long as they're not scary 60s or look like they are built correctly, we attack them. We could do some energy with this, but I really think accessories is going to be the way to go because you can get their revenge accessories on there, which I think is going to be more impactful extra hits. You think Fire Knight too, if he hits you, you have a chance to hit him back. So it's kind of like putting a counter attack on there, which would be really great. Eventually, when we do get to level 9 as a clan, or if I can find a clan that's in level 9, I'll be using all of my clan gold on this champion right here, Carl. He is just so good. I don't know if we can actually view him. There we go. So he's so good. I have 2 copies on my main account. I actually use them quite a bit. So he has a chance to freeze and ignores the target defense. If they are in a freeze you take less defense, so it kind of balances it out. This he has a increase or chance to put decreased speed, and then a booked out to 100% chance of freezing, and then he also seals 100% of the turn meter, and then places an increased speed on him. And then he also ignores 50% of the champion's defense if they're under a freeze. So that's really great. And then he attacks all enemies. He has booked up to 100%, and then it's actually guaranteed to 100% if they have 75% or more turn meter. These buffs cannot be resisted by targets that do have 75% turn meter or more. Just really good. It books down to 4 turns. This books down to 3 turns. And then he has a passive that has a passive effect, increases damage of this champion inflicted by 10% for each champion in battle under a freeze. So this is both your champions and their champions. Then also decreases the damage of this champion received by 10% for each champion in battle under a freeze. So he has a built-in 10% not being able to hit as hard. He's going to be a squishier champion anyways because he's attack based. So this does kind of help. But then his active, it places an unkillable buff on this champion for 1 turn whenever they kill an enemy under freeze on a 3-turn cooldown. So that's also going to be sometimes really beneficial, but he'll be able to help a lot in a ton of different areas when it comes to our CC, and he'll pair very nicely with the blue guy that we have. So I'm really going to be pushing hard for that. So if we look at a couple other ones of the team, maybe they got a lot of tankiness, I would guess, especially with the 208 team power. This is pretty similar to ours. Mashad is nasty. I went against just him in the arena, and I lost pretty bad. He puts a True Fear, increased speed. He actually hits pretty hard, puts a leech on all of us for healing for himself. This team, maybe, but with a speed lead, speed booster, I'm guessing we're probably going to be slower. Let's go ahead and give this one a try, though. And we are slower. He also increases theirs and decreases ours. And then Rhonda just absolutely nuked us. So let's jump back in here. This one looks doable. So we're going to have probably their best team right here. And we do have a decrease healing on that. Everybody's going to be bad affinity for Monkey King. So let's go ahead and see if this works. We'll put our best team against their Seal the Drakes. As long as this team can win, I think we have a chance, but we really needed Blade Master to kind of go off because it's not looking too good. Probably should have autoed this one. So let's see what this is going to look like. We're going to have to get back to our revive, and we really need some sleeps. Ooh, I forgot they did a stun. Okay, so that didn't work. So let's turn this off auto or manual. Let's just see. Let's get the poisons up there. Okay, we got a good hit there. Let's see if we can just kill. Okay, good. Perfect. So we got at least one. This one should be all about just outlasting. Let's take these away so we're going to move faster. Let's put some increased attack. You're going to be weak affinity, unfortunately. Figured they would die. So let's just try to stun. We got the stun. Let's just kind of hit them while they're stunned. We don't have to worry about increasing anything else. Let's try another stun. Didn't get it. And poison take them out. So we were able to get 12 there. So getting a little closer. This one looks a lot better. So what we're going to do, he should go down from pretty much anything. So I'm going to try to switch up this team a little bit. So he essentially should just die from this because he's going to be positive affinity. This team shouldn't be that hard at all. But he places an unkillable, so I need to make sure that Monkey stays alive and can strip that. So let's give this a go. So not too worried about a one-man team here. We should just, there we go. Definitely not worried about that one. Ooh, I kind of forgot he hits hard. Yep, this one's not looking out good for us. All right, but we got 12. So would have, man, I kind of forgot how good he was. I have him on my main account, but I just haven't built him out. He'd be a lot better for like lower level stuff, but just not for us. So let's go ahead and try to take on this team. So we have a bad affinity here for him. Solus is going to probably nuke us. This one's probably going to be the easiest. So let's go ahead. This team should beat it. This team should beat it. And I think we just kind of sacrifice this team. Because I don't think we're going to be able to take out a 6-star Solus because he's a defensive nuker with any of our champions. So let's give this a go. So we're pretty much just forfeited the first one. Just hits too hard. Puts a shield on. That perfect, or that veil is pretty cool. All right, so let's see. Okay, this one's easy. We won this one. And that was good too. Perfect. So we got another 12 there. So we're now just 44 away. So it should just be 3 more battles. If we can get lucky. Let's see. This one actually looks pretty doable. First one, I think we're just going to forfeit because I don't think we're going to have the power to take him down. So let's not worry about that one. For this one, monkey on monkey. And we should be faster. Is there anybody that boosts on this team? No. And then this one, we definitely should be faster without even a boost. So maybe we do, no, because he's got to be weak affinity. Do I add some more damage into this team? No, he's weak affinity against monkey. I think we win with this team, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's just go ahead and switch this. Let's add him just in case. We don't have any boosters or anything, but let's take this off auto. Because I'm not sure how that second team's going to work. I'd love to get like another speed booster, but this champion would have been good in there. But I stole all the gear from that champion. Let's just skip this one. There's no way we're taking down the Python. All right, so they are not going to go first. So let's take out their Reviver. Let's strip any buffs that they don't have, so they can't put any up. Let's try to AoE and kill these two. We got that. Got an extra turn. True damage. Another extra turn. Give us one more. Did not get another one. Perfect. So got that one down, and then this one should be pretty easy. Got defense down, decreased defense down. So that was good. So now we're just 32 more away. Are any of these teams going to be at least 2 wins for us? No, they're not. All right, so we got to wait another 9 minutes. Let's go ahead and check on Arena. We got 5 minutes on that one. We're nowhere close to any energy. We're not doing the clan boss. We already did our keys for the day. So let's see if we can get any appealing rolls. I'd love to put some more accuracy on him. So we got 131 left. So we got that one. If we can get this, we should get a nice little bonus. Of course, we did not get that. And now we're incredibly low on silver again. We don't have enough gems to refill the energy here. So what I'm going to do is I'll just skip ahead. We're going to need some more energy somehow because we need at least 20,000 silver to pull that champion. I really didn't want to do this, but I think I have to in the clan shop. Just use these 100 so that way we can get at least 20,000 silver. You know, sometimes the free-to-play life is not amazing. You know, I think overall you can still have a lot of fun playing this game as a free to play player, but you can't play as much of it sometimes as you'd like to. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll be like, okay, I want to grind a little bit on the free to play account for 2024, and we'll just start playing before the kids wake up. And next thing you know, the kids are still not up, and you're out of silver, you're out of energy, you've already used your keys, and you're just like, okay, well, that was eventful. Like, you get 114 that are going to refill for you overnight. You can't overtop that. And there's a lot to do in this game, and you kind of want to upgrade your champions, but to do that, you got to farm, or you got to use the brews, which do silver. I think overall, if I would say the worst out of them is got to be silver, because you need silver to just upgrade them in any way, like upgrading their rank, upgrading their level. If you want to do it from the like a quick way to do it, you got to do it on the tavern. It costs a lot of silver. If you want to star upgrade them, that costs a lot of silver. If you want to fuse a champion, that costs silver. If you want to upgrade their items, that costs silver. If you want to re-gear them, that also costs silver, which that's probably got to be the worst part for me is when you're re-gearing them. It costs you so much silver sometimes to take pieces off. They do have like free gear removal times, but I really think as a new player, you should just have them consistent. I think as any type of a player, you should be able to just have them consistently be able to be removed because what's the harm when you're just regearing champions? I don't see any harm on why you'd need to cost it. I don't see why that would cause like this game harm at all. I think it would probably make it more enjoyable. I do feel like it would allow people to spend more time on the game because you can try different builds a lot quicker for different pieces of content, especially at like a low level where you don't have the best of champions. So, perfect example here, we'll talk about Monkey King. If I was able to switch out his gear for free on the Monkey King, I would do that every single time that we ran a dungeon, and I would do that every single time. Well, probably not dungeon. I'd do that every single time we ran like the dungeons and clan boss together. I'd put him back in the toxic set. I'd put him in a different set when we ran arena, and I think I'd have a lot better wins. And then I would put him in probably a different set, like a lifesteal, when we're just trying to push higher content that we really need him to kind of heal up. Um, but you can't do that. Maybe not a lifesteal because he does self revive. But if you're wanting to do like some solo type content where you don't actually want him to die because everybody else around you is dying, maybe then we'd need to do that. But we don't have the option because it's going to cost 200,000 at least silver to change out 6 pieces. I think it's maybe like 50,000 a piece, where especially the higher level of piece that you're changing out, it costs more silver to switch out. So it does scale off of the level of item that you're switching out, which is kind of odd sometimes. I think it scales off of just rarity too. So if you have a higher rarity item, you're going to be, ooh, did I not click the other guy? Nope, did not. Got ahead of myself. But if you have a high rarity item that also has like another tick on the, hey, what's the price of this going to be? Ooh, looks like I just got a text from my wife, and we're gonna do some poke bowls today. I don't know if you guys have ever had them, but they're a lot of protein, a lot of veggies. You can put like fruit in them too. I don't know too many of them have fruit in them, but then you got the rice, and it's just kind of like overall fulfills you up, which really great. And like you feel good after eating them. Like sometimes, say if you eat like a pizza, you're going to feel pretty bogged down eating it, but when you eat a poke bowl and you get full, you don't feel like that weighed you down full. You actually feel pretty good, which is great because I got to run around with all these kids, do all this stuff. We do have a three-story house, so walking up and down the stairs with kids to put them to sleep, their bedroom is upstairs. So that's kind of eventful to say the least sometimes. Our son now, he's a year and a half, and I think he weighs like 25 pounds. So he's a big boy going up and down those stairs. Daughter, I think, is only like 12 pounds so far, so she is not as big of a baby getting up and down those stairs, but still, you got to carry some of the stuff with her that you don't have to really carry with him. He's pretty self-sufficient when it comes to the most part. And sometimes he'll actually go up the stairs for you. Sometimes he won't. He'll make you carry him. He likes to be carried sometimes, and sometimes he's a very independent boy that wants to walk up the stairs or crawl up the stairs, whatever he kind of feels. He is now king of the couch, we have learned about his favorite thing to do in this world is to play on the couch, which is fine sometimes because it keeps him preoccupied, and we have a sectional couch that kind of in a C shape, so he can kind of run back and forth, and you can basically just stand in the middle and catch him if he falls. But then sometimes he gets his thought in his head where he goes, "Hey, I'm going to jump off the edge of this couch face first, where nothing is there, without mom or dad." And he just does it. He just runs and jumps, and you're just like, "What?" And then he just falls on the ground, hits his head, jumps up, smiles, laughs, goes and does it again. The kid is fearless, which I love that he's fearless instead of like super cautious. Um, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh, and you just kind of you stop breathing, make sure like if he does fall down, you just wait to hear if he's crying or if he jumps up and he's smiling. Thankfully, this kid always jumps up and he's smiling. So we did get plenty of our silver. Let's go ahead. We got a minute, so that should mean this refreshed. And so let's at least take one of these. We got these that refill all the time, so let's try to take one. I think that's the team that we just lost to. Kind of our speed lead. Ultimate Death Knight's gonna be a pain. These are really rough. I kind of think about just losing all these to get back to silver. So let's just go ahead and take this one, see what happens. We got the same speed lead. They got defense down and weekend champion. Ooh, nuked with a seal. So let's try this one. At the end of the day, I really don't care about my win percentage. Sure, it would be nice to like win a lot, but I'm not going to win a lot. And as you can see, I think he's just gonna take us off one by one because he has too much healing. Like we hit 19, 10. He just healed for 8. Yeah, we're not even doing much of a dent. Oh, it does look like the kid might be waking up. I don't know if you guys did hear that. So let me pause right here. I'll kind of pop back in when this does get done upgrading or updating. And then I'm going to check on this kid to make sure that they don't need to be up yet. So I will be right back. So she did go back down by herself, which is really nice. So went ahead and refreshed. Just went through a couple battles. We did get up to our 1200. We have our ancient shard. Looks like she is not down yet. So I will be right back to go ahead and pull this back. Hopefully she is going to stay down. I really hope the wait is worth it. So we got this makes now this will be our 55th shard pulled. That's an ancient. So come on, lucky 55. Give us legendary. Give us a blue. Who is this? I actually don't know who this is. Looks kind of cool. Sylvan Watcher, so I got to go with the blue guy. Increased accuracy buff on this champion. 25% chance of placing a stun. Attacks on enemies before attacking, places an increased defense. Is it a defense champion? Yeah. 17 reviewed, so it must be a new champion. Solid all around. Faction War champion it is. So that was uneventful for the wait. Hopefully the clan boss will be dropping us some more shards off for tomorrow, but that should be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.